Okay, just 1 minute trying to see. Okay, it's on. I don't know how this gonna work out. Okay, trying to look at the two things, do it the same thing. Well, Lord, just work with me. Good evening. Uh, got a word. It's not short. It's actually long. I'm gonna try to do it the best that I can. But before I get started, I would like to read a scripture that comes from out of Isaiah. Is actually two. One of them I've been reading every day, and the other one I've been reading since last week. But they both come from out of Isaiah. One comes from out of Isaiah. One comes from out of Isaiah. This picture that I always keep in the Bible. Of young boys. I got them on different scriptures. That kind of fell out. One of them come from Isaiah 45 and 19. And I read it every morning. I keep his picture on there. And the other one come from out of Isaiah 46. Okay, I'm gonna read Isaiah 45 and 19 first, and I'm gonna ask the Lord to bless the reading of this word. I ask Holy Mighty God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel that you bless the reading of these two scriptures that I'm reading. I ask this humbly in the name of Jesus, and I thank you. Amen. Isaiah 45 and 19 says, I have not spoken in secret in a dark place of the earth. I have not said unto the seed of Jacob, seek ye me in vain. I, the Lord, speaketh righteousness. Speaking righteousness. I declare things that are right. And I ask that you bless me that my tongue don't get tired too, Lord. Isaiah 46, verse 9, all the way down to verse 13. For it says in verse 9, remember the former things of old, for I am God, there is none else. I am God, and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done. The things that are not yet done. Saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasures. Calling a ravenous bird from the east, the man that execute my counsel from a far country. Ye, I have spoken it, I will also bring it to pass. I have purposed it, I will also do it. Hearken unto me, ye stark-hearted, that are far from righteousness. I bring near my righteousness. I bring near my righteousness. It shall not be far off, and my salvation shall not tarry. And I will place salvation in Zion. Please, salvation in Zion means deliverance. Salvation means deliverance. I learned that from Bishop P.A. Brooks. All the time I didn't understand that the two was one. Okay. And I will place salvation in Zion for Israel, my glory. Okay. Thank you, Lord, for not letting my tongue get tired. Now I ask that you not let it get tired while I do this. Before I get off into this, I want to say I'm taking heed to what the man of God said, Perry Stone, about people have been working with numbers in Bible since the beginning of time, since the beginning of this with the Bible. They have always worked doing the numbers and trying to figure out different things because they knew that numbers were linked to it. And I've always said that it's a lot of things that I don't understand. A whole lot of things I don't understand. I'm still trying to figure out what it was that Dr. Juanita Bynum was pointing to in that 372. because I have found the number 372 in what I'm doing or what I was doing with Chicago and the church and so forth. And then the clock that's up there on the wall, it ended up being uh 3 hours different on the next day from the previous day. And I have been going through a little something with the clock where every time I was going and looking at it because it had caught my attention, it ended up being 15 minutes behind the clock there in the kitchen. And it did that all that day. Not all that day, it did it 4 times. So, and the next morning I got up, it was 3 hours behind. And I kept on, three kept on coming to me. But then I ended up finding out that the clock was 3 hours behind when I was looking for something that happened that night. But anyway, to make a long story short, the next day, like I said, the clock was 3 hours behind. And then when the clock stopped working at all, the clock stopped at 7 minutes to 2. So therefore, you got the 3 hours behind. It stopped at 7 minutes to 2. You got 372 again. So I know what she's saying is true. And then when this happened with the clock, the revelation that God revealed to me in the clock, you can find the 666 in that too. I'll reveal that a little bit later if the enemy ain't already then stole it, because everything that I write down, they take and they write it down by listening, or when I'm asleep, they operate in sorcery and witchcraft. Like I say, sometimes I get up and stuff that I have wrote and have talked about, I'll find it like it coming up out of me, But anyway, I just wanted to take and share this again. I shared this back in February or the beginning of March after the NFL game, and that happened with Billy Graham home. And they took that down about 6 or 7 of my other videos. But God took and blessed me with even more, even after I had already knew some other stuff that I didn't put in here, because I was trying to save it for the book that I was trying to write. But I see that this might go in a whole different direction. So I just say, if anything that I'm doing is a blessing to any of y'all and y'all like it, I was doing this for the brothers and sisters there in Chicago, and I would really appreciate if y'all would take and sow a seed with Father Flager, Reverend Jesse Jackson, and Brother Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I know I have some problem with some of my brothers in the nations and some of my Moorish brothers and sisters too, but I know that all of them ain't bad, so and I know that things got to be changed there just like they got to be changed here, but sometimes there got to be a starting point. And the starting point, I feel, because of what I've been going through with that in Chicago and Carolina, is there in Chicago. Anyway, this is what I had wrote that they took down. Get to that part after this. I'm trying to let you know how I come to writing this. This would inspire me to write this. Mount Zion 11 to Mount Zion 21 that leads to Mount Moriah 32. This would inspire me to write this. Okay. As I started to sing, how sweet and pure your joy is. Your joy is as sweet and pure as early morning rising, rising, full of sunshine that hits the dawn of the day. Your sweet joy is full of new beginnings, too many to count. Your sweet joy goes back even before eternity, got its beginning. It's so sweet that we can't comprehend its fullness or its beginning. That sweet joy, purer than the most sunniest day we can see. Oh Lord, that sweet joy, I need it every second minute, hour of the day. Okay? And it was just, all that month, all that week, just constantly writing stuff. I got a whole bunch of other stuff that I wrote, okay? And I wrote right here, as I sit here, I think about Father Abba's greatness and goodness and kindness, okay? That led me to write this, okay? Which is what led me to write that about Mount Zion after I seen that with Perry Stone, okay? I'm reflecting on what sent me to Father Abba or caused me to write Mount Zion 11, Mount Zion 21, that leads to Mount Moriah 32. I'm reflecting on it, okay? I call the title of it, or the letter to Father Abba, My Soul Spirit Hurts. In this letter, I spoke about Mount Zion 11, Mount Zion 21, that leads to Mount Moriah 32. But what drove me there was this: the hurt of those children and the brokenness in me is what caused me to write that, because I wrote this before I did. I wrote this, what I'm getting ready to read now, I wrote this before I did that with Mount Zion. Now pay attention to it. I had wrote this first. My heart hurts. My heart hurts so, oh Lord. My heart hurts so. Hurts in a way, Lord, that I can't explain or express, oh Lord. It hurts so it hurts. So please, please come. Come now, O Lord, for we need you so. My heart hollers from deep within. Come now, for we need you, we do. For my heart hurts so, and I know you are the only one who can fix what's wrong, crooked. For Solomon made it clear, no man can fix what's crooked. But I know that you are not a man, but my Father, the one true creator of heaven and earth. A man and woman, eternal soul, spirit fixer. You are the great fixer, repair, healer, Rapha Elohim. So please, Lord, don't turn your face away from me, for I am broken in my soul's heart, my mind's spirit. I realize the body is not the true masterpiece, but the soul's spirit is the eternal creation and masterpiece. And I know if you fix it, then the body will be made whole. Okay? This the picture of the one I would talk to. Okay, I was talking about the pictures every morning of the young people that I keep in the Bible, and the women and with the children, and whatnot. Right here, the pictures of the ones I would talk to almost every morning and look at every day. Okay, talking about the pictures, and I got them right here, keep them in my Bible. These are the woman with the baby. Then got the other one. Okay, I know what scripture you're on. You in Malachi. Go to Malachi. She in Malachi. I know where you at. Okay, Malachi. You in Malachi. Keep you in Malachi 3 and 5. Okay. And this one right here with the kids. And then I showed you the young man with the hoodie on, okay. And almost every morning I will look at every one of these pictures every day, and I'll be speaking to him, and I would be thinking about, certain things. But anyway, Bishop P.A. Brooks about what he was saying about that salvation meant deliverance. Okay, so this kind of stuff was going through my head. I might have to take and do this on Facebook again because I see they tweaking with my Facebook page, but as long as it's go through on YouTube, then I can take my time doing it on Facebook. But anyway, I was thinking about what Bishop P.A. Brooks was saying about salvation meaning deliverance. Then Pastor Perry Stone saying that Mount Zion meant deliverance. Then my man got to clicking, got to thinking, okay? And Mount Moriah meaning God's glory. That inspired me to write the letter to Father Abba called My Soul Spirit Hurts. Mount Zion 11, Mount Zion 21, that leads to Mount Moriah 32. I had already wrote that about my soul spirit hurt, but I ended up taking and putting the two together after I heard Perry Stone say what he said, and I was reflecting on what Bishop P.A. Brooks had said. So I took and combined together. I watched that video that Perry Stone took and put on TV just over and over and over and over and over and over again. And that's how I got inspired to do that. I didn't steal it from no one. Didn't no one give it to me. I got inspired by him, Bishop P.A. Brooks, and the kids. Anyway, got right here. The word deliverance has 11 letters in it. Okay? Now, stop and think. It has 11 letters in it. I wrote Mount Zion 11 that leads to Mount Zion 21. Okay? It has 11 letters in it. Now, let's look at this letter and find out why the enemy of our soul don't want us to know that God loves us and that his deliverance has always been. It's nothing new. Always been. Okay? Yeah, Jesus come bring it again, but it always has been. Even in the foundation of the earth, like he said in his word. Now we pay attention. It'll let you know that his deliverance and salvation has always been. Okay? Because he says in Proverbs 8, verse 29, when he gave the seas his decree, that the water shall not pass his commandments, when he appointed the foundations of the earth. Okay, verse 30. Then I was by him. Who was by him? Okay, before he did any of this. Read this again. Then I was by him. Okay, before he created the foundations of the earth, before he even spoke that the sea shouldn't go past this or by none of this, or this shouldn't do this, I was by him. Okay, Proverbs 8 and 29. Okay, now I'm gonna go down some more. I was by him as one brought up with him. And I was daily his delight, rejoicing always before him. Jesus, okay, that was by him, his daily delight. Foundation, my deliverer, okay? Jesus was there when the foundation was being put there. When the waters was told they couldn't go past it, he's saying he was his daily delight. It was Jesus, our deliverer, okay? Mount Zion 11, okay? My Mount Zion 21 that leads to Mount Moriah 32 is Jesus. Coming bringing salvation once again. It was already there because he was always there with God. So God had already made it that way. It's nothing new. It's just that when we threw it away the last time, he had to come back again in the flesh and bring it to us again. Not saying that God has stopped delivering people, because you can go through the Bible where he delivered Israel over and over and over again. But this is a different kind of deliverance. This is a different kind of salvation. Okay? And that's what drove me to take and write this Mount Zion 11 that leads to Mount Zion 21 that leads to Mount Moriah 32. You know, that the enemy wanted to make like it was him to do it. I know people been doing numbers way longer than me. You know, but different things inspired me. And I got over 22 years of working with numbers. I know that the way that the Jews take and do certain things that they do, I don't understand it, but I come up with the same thing that they do by doing what I do. And all you got to do is pay attention. If you watch the videos that I posted, the ones that if they ain't taken down, and you go back to the time when I first started posting, when I first started talking about this, all you got to do is take a look. They weren't doing this. Now they took down by 8, maybe 8 or 9 of my videos. Why? You know, why do they keep on doing stuff to my Facebook page? Like right now on Facebook, keep on cutting off the YouTube thing. Y'all need to stop and think about this. If y'all want to be fed by people that's stealing in messages that God given to someone else, inspired by somebody else, then what's righteous about that? Pay attention to what God said in Isaiah 45:19. God said, I have not spoken in the dark and secret place of the earth. I said, not unto the seed of Jacob seek ye me a thing. I the Lord declare, I the Lord speak things that are right. Speak things that are righteous. I declare things that are right. I didn't say that, God said that. Then he goes on in 46. He goes on in Isaiah 46. And he said, well, I'm just going to read verse 13 because we're going to be working with this number 13 tonight in a big way. So I'm just going to go to verse 13 in Isaiah 46 and 13. And I want y'all to pay attention to this. Verse 13. I bring near my righteousness. It shall not be far off, and my salvation shall not tarry, and I will place salvation in Zion. Just got to talk about Zion. In Zion, okay? For Israel, my glory. Mount Zion 11 to Mount Zion 21 that leads to Mount Moriah 32. Goes right along with Perry Stone was saying about Mount Zion meaning deliverance and Mount Moriah meaning God's glory. Right here in the world. I didn't make it up. I just had a revelation of it, that's all. And if you add 11 and 21 up, that's 32. Anyway, I go on to write, Lord Jesus, is me again. I need 50 Genesis 3 and 15 women. Righteous and good women of God, the God of Abraham, to share this word. This is one of the videos the enemy took down. Letter to Father Abba, my soul spirit hurts. Now this is the one that I took and posted. Okay? This is the one I took and posted that they took down. And I just told you what led me to writing. I won't ask you why you put on my heart to do this about Chicago and the church. I know I'm part of the reason why things are the way they are in Chicago. I'm sorry for my part in this. My young brothers and sisters are fighting this enemy of selfishness because of the spirit of greed that I embrace. The spirit of Memnon is called. I understand this spirit a little better, Father Abba, because of my earthly father. On his deathbed, he was speaking about what he was going to do to someone because of the money they owed him. I can't lie to you, Father Abba. That bothered me so much because I wanted my father to live so bad. You know I prayed and sowed seed for him to get better. You would say all the time, okay, you know I would pray and sow seed for him to get better. You know I would say to you all the time that he can reach more people than me. And if the both of us was serving you, that would be even better. You know the prayer went something like that, Father Abba. I can't lie to you. You know I would talk to you like that about me and him, especially him, because I knew he could reach many if he just turned to you. I came to realize that day on his death. Okay. I came to realize that day on his deathbed when he was talking about what he would do to someone that the Spirit had him. You let me see this Spirit many times, but I never understood it until then. Forgive him, Father Abba, for this world you gave us has so much to give us because you made it that way for us. Because you are kind, loving, and your nature is giving. And we don't really understand the fullness of what you said in Genesis 1:26 about us having dominion over these things we treasure so, that you have given us so freely. Please help these young kings and queens to understand that you have given them these things already, Father Abba. Please help them to understand Matthew chapter 7, verse 7 to 11, and Matthew 6:33. And triple please in helping them to understand Matthew chapter 6, verse 19 to 24. The spirit of selfishness and Memnon are one. And the spirit has most of the Democrats and Republicans as well, as most of our church leaders too. Our Muslim brothers and sisters are being touched by this spirit of selfishness too. No one can reach the soul that this spirit has better than you, Father Abba. I've seen this spirit on him while he was on his deathbed. Please help us. I never told anyone that I tried to do my lottery rundowns again, okay? Anyway, what I was trying to write here is that, you know, I never gave the testimony that I tried to go back to doing what I was doing with the lottery numbers. And when I went back to doing that, God showed me that spirit, I mean, just standing there, waiting to enter back in. Ready to enter back in. The spirit was just standing there, opened my eyes right up. I stopped. I hurry up and stop. Okay? Anyway, never told anyone that I tried to do my lottery rundowns again, thinking that I could do both in 2014. You let the Spirit stand right there in my living room, and it was all over me as well. Shabokanianja. Because I was going backwards and seeking the old way when I had a assignment. When I had a assignment. Help me, Lord. You knew that I would be distracted, that it would be distracting me. So you revealed to me that day the spirit that was waiting on me. I didn't say this in the video they took down, but it's true, and you know it. Jabotianja. Nevertheless, we need money to start these programs, to help reach the lost, to feed them that's hungry, and to clothe them. You even clothed Adam and Eve, and you made sure they had food to eat, because Cain brought fruit and Abel brought the firstling of his flock. You provided, Father Abel. You own the cattle on 1,000 hills. I know you have people in places that listen to your voice. I was told for years that you hear the cries of those mothers in Chicago. I know you know that the needs that they need the paper dollar that so many need to do. I know that you know that they need that paper dollar to do the things that needs to be done, is what I'm trying to say, okay? Right here. And I know you know the one who has the hearts after you to do the right thing with the money once they get it. And yes, I hear it coming to me that your time is not my time, but I still say, can you please move now? And while you moving, can you stop in Michigan, Florida, Texas, California, New York, and on, Father Abel? This can't be done without you. And I know what I found in the Bible is true, just like I know the message you have given me about the 2 periods of 7 is true. Shabokanianja. I know this because of what the devil is doing to me because of it. But I won't give him the victory, because the victory belongs to you, Yahweh Elohim, and your son Jesus, who has the key of David. Please open the doors a little sooner, Father Abel. We are losing too many young people. The cry of the blood is to the point that our ears are deaf to the cry here on earth. But I know you hear, and I know you see. How can the eagle that sit around your throne be represented so wickedly down here on earth? Take us to Mount Zion 11, Lord. We cry to you, Mount Zion 11, Lord. For we know your hand of mastery was upon Mount Zion from the very beginning, Lord. As I watched your servant pass the Perry Stone, and he spoke on Mount Zion and Mount Moriah, my ears and heart opened up, because the numbers spoke to me, Father Abba, as you knew they would. Shahandalaboshaya. The summit of Mount Zion is 773 meters, 773 meters. Your servant Perry Stone said. He went on to say, the top of the score of his of this is 777 meters, and this was in the north. So I noticed the 2 sevens, then the 3, The 2:7 spoke about completion, not once but twice. The 3 didn't speak to me until I added everything up and got 7 plus 3 equals 17. It then spoke to me about it being good here. Then spoke to me about being good here. I then broke it down even further and got 1 plus 7 equals 8. New beginnings. I then went to the top, and the 3:7 spoke like I can't explain, because 21 jumped out at me. And I knew that this meant the end of a thing because of what I learned by listening to Dr. Bynum. But I knew it was more because 2 plus 1 equals 3. So now we have 3 on the top and 8 coming up the hill. 8 plus 3 equals 11. Mastery hollered out at me. Not to mention that Pastor Perry Stone said that Mount Zion means deliverance. Wow. Deliverance has 11 letters in it. Blood of the Lamb. But I know it wouldn't end there. And yes, I didn't put that in the last video. Smile. Anyway, I knew I must add up the bottom and the top numbers as a whole. So I bring us back to the bottom. 7 plus 7 plus 3 equals 17. And the top number 7 plus 7 plus 7 equals 21. If you add both, you get 17 plus 21 equals 38. Now we must break this down once more. 3 plus 8 equals 11. Again, man, mastery, 11, deliverance, 11 letters. Now we have one last step here. We have 2 7s on the bottom and 1 3. Now 2 plus 1 equals 3. So we have 3 on the bottom. Now let's go up top. The number 3 shows up here too. How? We have 3 7s. So we get 3 on the bottom, 3 on the top. This gives us 3 and 3, which gives us 33 or 6. I say both because Mount Zion means deliverance. Jesus came to bring us deliverance that 33 years he accomplished here on earth. Blood of the Lamb. Now, if we add the 6 to the 11, we get 17 again. God making things good again. So we have 17 showing itself twice, which breaks down or leads right back to 8 each time. First time Adam, second time the new Adam because of Jesus. This reflects both 17. I didn't put this in the first video either. Shabokani. Nevertheless, we have 11 showing itself twice, which means mastery or works of mastery. Had both hands in on this. He had both hands in on this. And if you look at 11 and 11, you would get the number 22. Shabuote. There is so much to this 11, 11, and 22 that Father Abba has revealed to me. I'm trying, Lord. That's why I asked you to take us to Mount Zion 11 so we can experience Mount Zion 21 that will lead us to Mount Moriah 32 and your glory. Oh, Mount Zion 11, touch our soul spirit, for we wish to experience your deliverance power in Mount Zion 21 that leads us to Mount Moriah 32. For we need your son Jesus that has the key of David to open this door of deliverance for us, Father Abba. For we know the time is short. We caught the message that was sent to us through the NFL Super Bowl game with the Philadelphia Eagles score 41 and the New England Patriots scored 33. We also caught what revelation was being revealed to us in Revelations 3 and 7. I got up on that scripture once again because I get a credit where credit due. Was listening to a man on YouTube, and he was preaching that scripture, and as he preached that scripture, it started to jump out of me. I didn't put that in the last one. Forgive me. For we found that there is 41 words in this, Father Apple, in Revelations 3 and 7. And you know that you had been speaking to me about the number, about the 41st generation before Jesus, or asked me, or coming to me, what was the generation before Jesus? The generation before Jesus was the 41st generation, and that was before the Super Bowl game had even played. Okay? Anyway, back to the one that has the key of David, that is speaking to us in Revelations 3, chapter 3, verse 7. As I said, there are 41 words in the 7th verse. Like I said, I don't want to just get it. Anyway, I said in Revelation chapter 3, verse 7, as I said, there's 41 words in the 7th verse, Father Abba. I caught this, and I caught the one that has the key of David saying in 7 words, okay? Saying this in 7 words. So here it is again. If you really turn it around and didn't add that in there, if you pay attention, you got the 3 and the 7 and the 7. That's the bottom of Mount Zion. But here we go. Let's go back this way. He that has the key of David. He said this in 7 words. But what it has me, Father Abba, is that this is in the middle. And that it has 23 letters in it. You know what you have revealed to me about this number 23. Even your servant, Billy Granholm, passing on reveals this number. It's in the middle, too. It's in the middle. It's in the middle, Father Abba. And you know what else is in the middle. Father Abba, Jerusalem and Mount Zion is 10 minutes away from it. 10 minutes. Revelations chapter 3, verse 7. 3 and 7, 10. My mind go to click. Because it's still right now. I can see certain lottery numbers. I can tell you the months and the days and the weeks that they come out on. I used to sit at the table, you know, for 9, 10, 13, 14. I would get up sometime at 9 o'clock in the morning and be up to 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning working on lottery. My hurt and my friend, okay, we're back on YouTube. My hurt and my friend, okay, anyway, but I was moved to write this because the young people in Chicago, my hurt and my friends I talk to every morning almost. Yes, I'm talking about the pictures. Okay. I'm speaking of the pictures that I use to sit on the table that now I keep in my Bible. This was one of the many things that goes along with this message of my soul spirit hurts. Mount Zion 11, Mount Zion 21, that leads to Mount Moriah 32, and John 5 and 5. Now pay attention. And a certain man was there which had an infirmity 38 years. Where else do you find the 38 in? I think that was Mount Zion, if I'm not mistaken. Deliverance. Okay, John 5:5 again. And a certain man was there which had an infirmity 38 years. Man, 38 years. Pool of Bethesda. Okay. Now, they say what I do is not Bible or sound doctrine. But pay attention. John 5:5. I ain't going to even get off into the 5:5 part. I'm going to go around. Then we have John 5:6. I ain't going to get off of that either, but I am. Jesus saw him lie there. Okay, Jesus saw him lie there. Deliverance saw him in his infirmity. Jesus saw him lying there. Deliverance saw him in his infirmity. Is you getting it? Okay. 5th chapter, 6th verse. Okay. 5 and 6 equals 11. 5th chapter, 6th verse talks about Jesus. For it says, okay, let me read it. Jesus saw him lie there. 5th chapter, 6th verse. 5 and 6, 11. Deliverance saw him lying there. Mount Zion 11. Oh, okay. Now we have this again. Verse 5 plus 6 verse, okay, equals 11. When you go about it that way, the 5th verse, 6th verse, that's 11 again. Okay, man in infirmity, meet the one who is delivering. 5 and 6. There we go again. All right, 11. Okay. Let's take it to Mount Zion 11. Okay, that leads to Mount Zion 21. Now we can get 21 out of this as well. Okay, as the 11. Now watch. I don't see 21, you say. Okay, but it's there. 5th chapter, 5th verse equals 10. 5 and 5 is 10. 5th chapter, 6th verse equals 11. 10 plus 11, 21. So now here you go. You got the 11. You got the 10. That equals 21. 2 verses. But you don't get to that without Jesus, the one who delivering in the 6th verse. 5th chapter, 6th verse. But here we go. Now we have the master of deliverance. The master of deliverance. Bringing Mount Zion 11, Mount Zion 21 to the man. He bringing the deliverance down to him. Here it is, the mountain walking. The mountain coming down to him. Mountain deliverance. Y'all ain't listening. Okay. And giving him a new beginning. How can I say they're giving him a new beginning? Just stay with me. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. 8th verse. 8th verse. Okay. Jesus said unto him, rise, take up thy bed and walk. Now we have new beginnings. 8th verse. Ain't that what 8 means? The doctrine you doing is of the devil. It's of the devil. Because of the master Jesus, 11 words of deliverance. Okay, I meant to say that there's 11 letters in the word deliverance. Backwards, or Russian kind of. Okay, 11 letters in the word deliverance. Okay, I done showed y'all in the book of John. Okay, chapter 5, verse 5. The man of 38 years. We know we found 38 too in Mount Zion. We know this. I done showed y'all. Chapter 5, verse 6. I showed y'all Jesus. We know Jesus come to bring us salvation. Salvation means of the kingdom of God. Proverbs chapter 8. Oh, the enemy mad. Keep on doing this. Of the kingdom of God. Proverbs chapter 8. I know y'all, man. I have more stuff that I still didn't write in this. Anyway, Jesus, I say it again, Jesus is the master of deliverance. Jesus was God, daily delight. Before the foundation of the world, he was by his side. Proverbs chapter 8, verse 22 to 30. Just read it. I didn't put it in there. That Bible older than all of us. I didn't put it in there. Anyway, like I say, number 11 means disorder, judgment, or mastery. I can show it over and over in different things. Also, deliverance has 11 letters in it, as I've told y'all. Now we have 5 porches. Now pay attention to this. We have 5 porches in Bethsaida. Forgive me if I pronounced it wrong, Lord. We have 5 sevens in Mount Zion. He's paying attention to this, y'all. 5 porches in Bethsaida. We have 5 sevens in Mount Zion. Okay, verse 2. John 5 and 2. Then we get 7 again. Oh, I ain't gonna do it. They high, y'all. Keep on turning it on. They high. Yeah, I got to laugh, man. I got to laugh. Woo! I know y'all blocking this too on Facebook. I'm gonna redo it again. I'm gonna do a double one. Anyway, sorry, Lord. Don't be a marker. Sorry, Lord. Anyway, now in verse 3, in these lay a great multitude of importing folks, of blind, halt, withered, waiting for the move of the waters. You really need to pay attention to this, y'all. Pay attention to how all this connect up. 3 kinds of people. You have 1-3 in Mount Zion. 3 kinds of people sit at this pool that has 5 porches. Pay attention. Is you paying attention? 5 sevens in Mount Zion. All these numbers link up. Oh, Jesus. Only 1-3. Okay. In the whole, in the beginning, number 773. It's only 1-3 that sticks out in the beginning. There, you get another 3 when you do the 27, but we're just talking about the 1-3. You got 3 kinds of important people. John chapter 5, verse 3. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Ooh, Jesus. Now, get the glory, Lord. There is a lot more, but I want to point out this for now. You have the number 88 in this too. Remember, Dr. Martin Luther King said he had been to the mountaintop. John Conyers retired at 88. Okay, you can find the number 88 with Dr. Martin Luther King too. Dr. Martin Luther King, John Conyers, and before I tie all this in, y'all gonna see, y'all gonna be like, bam, 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 bam. Yeah, I'm gonna give y'all one more nugget about John. Then write it down. About John. No, let it go. Okay, anyway. Not only that you can find 11, not only that you can find 11 in this with Dr. Martin Luther King, because 11 is in there with him too. He said he'd been to the mountaintop. Now you find the number 11 in there with him too. Okay? More than once. Okay? Just like Mount Zion. Okay? Not only that, you can find the number 21 in that with Dr. Martin Luther King too. But before I do this, I want to know, have all the seeds of the daughters of Abraham died off? Crazy question, man. Father Abba said Abraham's seed would be great and fill the earth. Why would you ask a stupid question like that? God ain't gonna go against his word. So yeah, got 50 righteous. So the question I ask is, there are 50 righteous daughters of Abraham. Are there 50 righteous Genesis 3:15 women? Crazy question again. If they daughters of Abraham, yeah. Okay. He got a lot of nerves asking this question. My love for God, is he questioning my love for God? I'm not questioning it in that way because I can't. God said Abraham's seed will be great and fill the earth. We all know that God called Abraham friend. But I was told to understand Zechariah chapter 7, verse 1 through 7. What do this got to do with it? Where is he going now? Hold on. And as I began to study it, I began to speak. It began to speak to me after I started to see how it said the 4 years of King Darius. I believe that's how you respond, or Darius. That the word of the Lord came unto Zechariah in the 4th day of the 9th month, even in Chisla. I can't pronounce it. Chisla. Forgive me, Lord. I'm trying. I read this and the first 7 verses over and over, but I knew I needed to understand the first verse a little better. You know, just had that feeling that I needed to. Okay? I just kept on reading. So I read it over and over. As I did this, I started to think, why? I started to think, why do, or did they put the 4 years first, the day second, the month last? Because I'm a person that do numbers. I know numbers, so why is they giving it backwards? The first thing that come out and say, I just kept on reading it, kept on talking to God, kept on reading it. We do it the other way. Then I remember that I was told to use the stuff I used to do with the lottery numbers. Okay, when I started doing it, I was told to do all the stuff that I used to do with the lottery numbers. A lot of them I'm not doing. You know, I apply certain stuff when I need to, when I see that it needs to be applied. Anyway, I was told to use the stuff I used to do with the lottery numbers. I still wasn't getting anywhere, but I knew it was something to this. So I just kept reading it over and over. It then came to me, the Green Book. Okay, I wasn't going to say anything, but I seen an angel. They told me the Green Book. Yeah, I know y'all probably laughing, but okay. I went to the Green Book. I started with the basic and found that the first part of this led to this right here. Okay, start with the basics. You got 3 numbers in there. You got the 4th year. Okay, you got the 4th day. Then you got the 9th month. So if I'm thinking lottery numbers, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take and put the 3 numbers together. I was told to go to the Green Book. So if I put the 3 numbers together, you got 449. I was told to go to the Green Book. I know what I got in my Green Book. You know I got things lined up in there. My green book deal with verses in different ways, verses in the Bible in different ways. So that led me to Genesis 18 and 24, which is the 449th verse. You got 449 in the first verse. You got the fourth year, you got the fourth day, you got the ninth month. That's 449. The 449th verse is Genesis 18:24. So I went to it. And Genesis 18:24 says, peradventure, I pronounced it wrong, pre-adventure, there be 50 righteous within the city. Wilt thou also destroy and not spare the place for the 50 righteous that are therein? Now this Abraham intercede. Abraham intercede, talking about 50 righteous. 50 righteous daughters, Abraham. Okay. These messages that Father Abba is giving to me are warnings of things to come, but can be a blessing if the righteous step up. Because there's blessings in this too. Because I ain't, all this that I wrote, these 56 pages that I wrote, and this last month putting this together, I ain't even made it past verse 1 yet. And there's still more to do with that first verse. But anyway, these messages that, y'all finna be real upset. Because y'all been messing up, man. I keep on telling y'all. Anyway, these messages that Father Abba is given to me are warnings of things to come, but can be a blessing if the righteous step up. I know there are 50 righteous daughters of Abraham that want the rest of the message to get out so that we can receive the blessings. Okay? We'll speak about the rest of Zechariah 7, verse 1 through 7, and Mount Zion 11, Mount Zion 21, that leads to Mount Moriah 32, and Dr. Martin Luther King, as well as John Connors, New York, the NFL, college basketball, Villanova game, Michigan game, and all they took down, I have, and more. I got all of it, and it all ties in. All. And I can show how I got it. That I didn't take it from nobody or none of that. I understand why I will wake up in the middle of the night and I will hear stuff that I've been writing or researching coming up out of me. You know, voices talking and all that. I understand it now. I understand why they're taking down the videos. This message is out there. Okay? Anyway, is there 50 righteous daughters of Abraham seed out there? Shavuot Nianjah. Yeah, see, they don't want to look how they doing. Anyway, I take him to the Facebook one again. Is there 50 righteous daughters of Abraham's seed out there? Yes, there is 50 righteous that understand Genesis 3 and 15, Shavuot Nianjah, and Genesis 18 and 24, that reflects Zechariah chapter 7, verse 1 through 7. Remember, Shavuot Nianjah. Remember, the first verse said 4 years of King Darius, that the word of the Lord came unto Zechariah in the 4th day of the 9th month, even in Chisla. I can't pronounce that, but y'all know what it means if you're going to read it. People that can speak a little bit better than me. Okay? Remember, I was told to 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 go to the Green Book. So my mind already knew to reflect on the whole number, which would be 449, as I told you. Okay? Now they just turned back on my Facebook page. So I'm gonna read, I'm gonna go back up and I'm gonna read again. Okay. I'm doing this for the Facebook page. So I'm gonna read over again. We'll speak about the rest of Zechariah chapter 7, verse 1 through 7, and Mount Zion 11, Mount Zion 21, that leads to Mount Moriah and Dr. Martin Luther King, as well as John Conyers, New York, Intervale, college basketball game, Villanova, Michigan, all they took down, I have, and more. Because there's a lot more to this. This message it links like oh man, like a chain being linked up. Okay. Then I this from Facebook. Is there 50 righteous daughters of Abraham's seed out there? Yes, there is. Yes, there is 50 righteous that understand Genesis 3 and 15 and Genesis 18 and 24 that reflects Zechariah chapter 7, verse 1 through 7. Remember, the first verse said 4 years of King Darius, that the word of the Lord came unto Zechariah in the 4th day of the 9th month, even in Chesley. I can't pronounce that name, but it's y'all out there that read the Bible that be able to pronounce it. And like I said, there's a whole lot more to this. I haven't even finished the first verse of Zechariah chapter 7, verse 1 yet. I'm still on verse 1. And I done wrote 56 pages already. Still on verse 1. So y'all just trying to steal this to come out to take and do this and play like this from is coming from y'all. If y'all not going to study, y'all going to get caught up in lies. There's a whole lot more to this. I'm still in verse 1. Okay? Remember, I was told to go to the Green Book. So my mind already knew to reflect on the whole number, which would be 449. Because I'm thinking lottery numbers. Plain and simple. This led to Genesis 18 and 24. Where it said, peradventure, there be 50 righteous within the city, wilt thou also destroy and not spare? Okay, now that's Abraham in the seed. Okay, the place for the 50 righteous that are therein. This is the 449th verse in the Bible. I was led there, okay, because I was told to go to the Green Book. So automatically, if I'm being told to go to the Green Book, you know, to take and look at this, and I'm told to apply what I do with the lottery numbers, automatic 449, okay, okay. And 449th verse in the Bible, I was led there because of what I was told. I didn't want to say that I seen an angel before. I was told to go to the Green Book. I already told y'all. Angel told me. But I did, you know. Blood of the Lamb on my soul, spirit, heart, mind, and body. One word's real for me. Genesis 3 and 15. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. He shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heels. Okay? Now we dealing with these two. Now, if you understand Genesis 3 and 15, God is already speaking to Eve about Jesus and the Jesus that's going to be in us. How we going to be whacking the devil on his head and he going to be chomping at our heels. God is already speaking this. You know? Anyway, you speak it again by letting them know in Genesis chapter 3, verse 17 where I took it a mess, verse 18 where I took a messed up on when you talk about the thorns on the head. Remember, Jesus had thorns too. I was told that I would come to understand the 70, that number 74, and I could show that over and over and over again. Is out there. Anyway, let me stick to this. Let me stop breaking off this stick because this is enough in itself. Anyway, the woman don't have a seed, okay? Father Abba was giving charge to the woman, just like he gave a charge to Adam in Genesis 2 and 16 and 17. And God commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mightest freely eat, but of the tree of knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die. Now I know y'all saying God give Adam a commandment. Yeah, it was a commandment that God gave him. He commanded him not to do it. Okay, y'all probably saying, well, why is he saying that Genesis 3 and 14 was a charge to a woman? What he told her was a charge. He told her, I'm putting enmity between you and the devil, your seed and the devil's seed. The woman don't have a seed. He letting her know that he's charging her to take and raise the child right. You know, even though he didn't say it in the way that he said to Adam, it's basically the same thing. The script was just flipped. He told Adam not to eat of the tree. The day that you do, you surely shall die. But if you pay attention to Genesis and you read it, God don't give Adam no further commandment. He don't speak about no further charge or none of that. He's speaking to the woman. Okay. I know I said anyway, they you should that. Now y'all saying God gave Adam a commandment. Now I'll just say this. Why do God say he will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed? God knew what he put. God knew what he put in the woman, you know, and he gonna flip the script on the devil with y'all. If y'all just come on now, gonna flip the script, and that the woman would receive that word. You know, who was the first person that went giving the message about Jesus wasn't in the tomb the moment that she had seen him? Mary Magdalene, a woman. Look how look how Mary received what God had done in her. Now this is another Mary, Jesus' mother. Look how Mary received what God had done to her. She didn't argue and trusted that God would get her husband to understand. You know, she said, I'm not with y'all, but when God gave her the word, she didn't argue. You know, she took that word, she said, okay, I'm going to trust you to do this. Her husband wanted to put it away, but check this out. Matthew chapter 1, verse 19. Then Joseph, her husband, being a just man and not will to make her be public example, and not want to make her be a public example, was minded to put her away privately. Verse 20. But while he thought on these things, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a dream, saying, Joseph, angel appeared. Angel told me. Angel appeared. Angel told me. Saying, Joseph, thou son of David, fear not to take unto thee Mary thy wife. For that which is conceived is her in her is of the Holy Ghost. What God gave to each and every woman to conceive and carry was meant to be holy. Our children was meant to be holy, and so is y'all. Again, I'm going to say this. What God gave to each and every woman to conceive and carry was meant to be holy and righteous. And he charged y'all to be holy and righteous. Then give it to the man. The man would get it if the woman step up and do what she's supposed to do now. Y'all got to guide the children. God already knew in these last days that a lot of us men weren't going to be doing right. And he knew what he put in y'all women. Look how y'all women fight and survive and put things together, man. Y'all be struggling, but y'all put it together. He knew. Now it's time to do it on a whole nother level. Okay? Now, as I said, I was told to go to the green book that I have. The 449 led me to Genesis 18 and 24 because the 449 verse is Genesis 18 and 24. Now, this was just the beginning of this revelation. Now I will read Genesis 18 and 24 again. Peradventure, there be 50 righteous within the city, with also destroy and not spare the place for the 50 righteous that are therein. Why do we keep on reading? I want y'all to get this. Now, please be conscious. This is the 50th year since Dr. Martin Luther King's speech, I've been to the mountaintop, as well as his cold-blooded murder. Now, the 50th year of his speech, I've been to the mountaintop. How did I start this out? Mount Zion, 11. Mount Zion, 21. Dr. King been to the mountaintop. Just stay with me. And this is his 50th year. Tie it all in. Is it? Yep, that's good. Y'all gonna get enough of it tonight to know where this is going when I get ready to come with the second podcast. For me to give everything on this in one thing to be 5-6 hours long. Okay, anyway, this is the 50th year of Dr. Martin Luther murder and the 50th year of his speech, I've been to the mountaintop. This is also the year, the Jubilee year. Comes every 50 years. Okay. Is it any coincidence that Father Abbott would reveal this in this way to me? Someone who wished to use his knowledge of hitting the lottery numbers big. That's all I thought about. Was, getting rich. I ain't gonna lie. And I gave it all up in 2009. Someone who only thought about the riches of this world, at all times almost. I let that go. And in doing that, he has revealed this to me. There is no coincidence in this. None. Genesis 18 and 24. About 50 righteous being is about to be 50 righteous. The number 449 reveals this. And this being the 50th year of our prophet, Dr. Martin Luther King, cold-blooded murder. No coincidence. How can I be sure? How can I be sure of this? Glad you asked. Now we're going to go back to Genesis 18 and 24 one more time again. Say peradventure, okay? He said the word peradventure again. I hope I can pronounce this one day. There be 50 righteous within the city. The word 50 comes out of Abraham's mouth. How do it line up like this? And that's in there. Now y'all saying, man, you can't take and do that with the fourth year, the fourth day, and the ninth month. You can't take and do it. I'm finna show you how I line up. That I'm gonna show you tonight. And there's a lot more to it. Okay? And this 50th year, this pointing back to that, and this being revealed to me in the 50th year. Okay? Within the city. With that also, okay, hold on 1 minute. Would thou, it say right, would thou all destroy and not spare the place for the 50 righteous that are therein? Okay. 4 years of King Darius, that the word of the Lord came unto Zechariah in the 4th day of the 9th month. I read this over and over, was directed back to the green book that I have by a soft, that I heard by a soft voice of an angel. This led me, yes, and seen it. This led me, Shabokani, to the 449th verse. As I told y'all, I thought, wow. But I said, you know, this they ain't gonna want to believe it. But check this out. My mind began to race as so many things came to me that I used to do with the lottery. But I had to remember, this too, that this was the 50th year with Prophet Dr. Martin Luther King's murder. And this did start out with the song or Psalms I wrote called My Heart Soul's Hurt. Okay? That led me to write Mount Zion 11, Mount Zion 21, that leads to Mount Moriah 32. After I got that powerful word from Pastor Perry Stone about Mount Zion and Mount Moriah. Now, now I'm going to show y'all just how powerful this message is and how how good Father Abba is and how much he loves us and wants us to be warned. Now watch how this continues to go on. He knew I understood numbers. He had Pastor Perry Stone again, who listened to Father Abba's voice, give me another big boulder of a nugget, because he knew y'all would say what I was doing was of the devil, or try to take it. So Pastor Perry Stone dropped another boulder for me. Anyway, I heard Pastor Perry Stone speak to me prophetically when he talked about Ezekiel 16, chapter 16, verse 49. I jumped up because I knew it was something to it. I knew this applied. Jesus, Lord. I knew this applied. Father Abba, it's me. I'm going at it. I'm talking to God, talking to myself. I'm like out there, man. God, I was feeling it. Get the glory out of this. This, please, Lord. When he spoke this, I knew this was a word for me. I felt it. I couldn't focus when I got the word because I was tired and also excited. But I got up the next day and read all the scriptures that I read. I then started to read Zechariah chapter 7, verse 1. And the thought came to me, if this is in here, I'm going to holler, scream. So as I began to read the first verse, I was guided to do what I do. And when I did, I found the connection with the 449th verse in Genesis 18 and 24. Peradventure there be 50 righteous within the city, wilt thou also destroy and not spare the place for the 50 righteous that are therein? Now pay attention. Pastor Perry Stone spoke on Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 49. And this is what it say: behold, this was the iniquities of the sisters of Sodom. Pride. Do you see the connection? Behold, this was the iniquities of the sisters of Sodom. Pride, fullness of bread, abundance of idleness was in her and in her daughters. neither did she strengthen the hand of the poor or needy. Now, back again. Now the 449 verse pointing to Genesis 18 to 24, where Abraham was interceding on behalf of Sodom. Y'all getting it? I'm going to tie it all in. Now you have the Lord telling Ezekiel the sins of thy sister Sodom in Ezekiel 16 and 49. Okay? Now the Lord started talking to Zechariah in the middle of verse 1. In the middle of verse 1. My battery ran low on this, so I got to hold this like this. In the middle of verse 1. In the middle of verse 1. Where he say that the word of the Lord came unto Zechariah in the 4th day of the 9th month. The 4th day, the 9th month. Pay attention to this. That's 4 and 9. Ezekiel 16 and 49. 4 and 9. It's, thus you have the, Lord, thus you have the 49 in the second part of the first verse that reflects the whole 449 that leads us to Genesis 18 and 24 and Abraham interceding for Sodom. Remember, the scriptures read, and it came to pass in the 4th year of King Darius, the 4th, that this 4 was separated from the 49. Okay, the 49 was at the bottom. Okay, in the second half of this same verse, which says that the word of the Lord came unto Zechariah in the 4th day of the 9th month, comma. Thus you have 49, the 4 and the 9, because you automatically have to take and put them together. If you taking and doing what I do in a lot of them, okay, you got the 4 and 9. Now, now Father Abba speaks to Ezekiel in chapter 16, verse 49, about the sins of Sodom. But this whole chapter speaks about Father Abba's daughters. This whole chapter. Okay? Let's look at Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 6, where Father Abba speaks about or says, and when I passed by thee, I saw thee polluted in thy own blood. I said unto thee, when thou was in thy blood, live ye. I said unto thee, when thou was in that blood, live. That's verse 6. I'm going to get back to this. I'm going to tie it all in. Remember God's African daughters when you were slaves and beaten and blood covered your ancestors. Remember them, how they were beaten and bloody and raped and all that, okay? Father Abba said live. He said live to y'all, okay? Remember God's Indian daughters when y'all ancestors was beaten and murdered? Shabok the Anjan was beaten and murdered, bloody, beaten and murdered. Okay, hold on. When they was beaten and murdered and bloody, too, Father Abba said to them also, live. Remember God's European daughters, that y'all ancestors were slaves and servants too, in many other lands as well before. Y'all came here too. Y'all were slaves too, indentured servants and all the rest of that, okay? They was beaten, bloody, killed. But Father Abba said to them too, live. Shehom de la Moshaya. Okay? Now, Father Abba seen all your ancestors polluted, defiled, mistreated, bloody, but he still said live. He raised up his mighty hands of deliverance, as well as he passed by. What was Jesus doing to the man at the pool. But what was Jesus passing by? Okay. His mighty hands of deliverance as he passed by the ancestors that was bloody and said like in Ezekiel 16:6, live. John chapter 5 verse 8, arise. Remember, Mount Zion had a 3 on the bottom and a 3 on the top. That makes 6. Lord, it got too many pages. Okay. Like I said, remember John, John chapter 5, verse 8, when Jesus told the man at the pools of Bethesda, to rise, pick up his mat, to rise. What did you for laughing, Lord? But forgive me, y'all. I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm gonna say it again. What did God say? Jesus, God. What did he say when he walked by the man in Bethesda and Bethsaida in verse 8? He said to pick up your mat, rise. Okay. What did God say in Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 6? As he passed by them, he said, live. Okay. Anyway, remember Mount Zion had a 3 on listen to this. Remember Mount Zion had a 3 on the bottom and a 3 on the top. That makes 6. Ezekiel 16:6. Oh. Then he backed this up again in John chapter 5, verse 8. And we're going to get to the 8 too. Okay. Where he said, or Jesus said unto him, rise, take up that bed and walk. Remember, Mount Zion had an 8 in it too. Ooh. Yes. Because the 773 broke down is 7 plus 7 plus 3 equals 17. Break it down, 1 plus 7 equals 8. There go your 8. Again, arise, healing, new beginning. Now, make this, this clear. Now, make this clear when he passed by them each time with the word of his hands. When he spoke, it was like hands moving and touching. Just in the spirit realm, his hands, he spoke the words and his spiritual hands moved. And gonna turn it off. Forgive me, y'all on YouTube. Anyway, is God spoke the words. He said when he passed them by, he spoke the words and said, live. So when he spoke the words, the words going out all the magnitude spirit in the spirit realm, his hands was already going out touch. Same thing with Jesus. Jesus never touched the man. He spoke the words, but in the spirit, his hands was already moving up on the man. Okay, so this happened as Jesus passed the man by, and as God passed them by when they was, when they was in their blood. He said, live. Each time with the words of his hands as he looked upon them. Okay, looked upon them. Jesus looked upon the man. God looked upon them when he was in their blood. God continues to speak to them and cover them, for he said, behold, that time was the time of love. He's speaking as I spread he said, as I spread my skirt over thee and cover thy nakedness. I swear unto thee and enter into a covenant with thee, saith the Lord God, and thou becamest mine. Okay. He made you his again after he was in you, after he filled you again. Okay. He decked thee out Put beautiful ornaments, bracelets upon thy hands and thy necks, jewels of every kind in your foreheads, crowns, and beautiful earrings in thy ears, and a beautiful crown upon thy head. Gave y'all gold and silver, and fine linen, and silk, and started to let y'all rise like never before. There go the word rise again. If you pay attention to those verses before you get to the 49 one, God had blessed Israel tremendously, and especially the daughters, because he's talking about how he dressed them and decked them out, and how they had a rise. Same thing that Jesus said to the man, arise. Okay? Where we at? And gave y'all gold, silver, fine linen, silk, and started to let y'all rise like never before. Read Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 1 through 49. Many has forgotten what God has done for them. But Father Abba want to know, has his daughters forgotten all that he has done for them? Ruth, Rahab, and Mary. Okay, is there any daughters like that listen to what God say? Yes, I know it is. Okay, y'all not feeling me. There is 32 words in Zechariah chapter 7, verse 1. Y'all have 8 fours in the 32. Y'all have 4 8s in the 32. Y'all have 2 16s in the 32. Now, if y'all go back and divide the 32 words into 16 words, you will end up here. You will end up here with 16. The Lord came unto Zechariah in the 4th day of the 9th month. Even in Chisla, I can't pronounce Chisla. Now it's 3 revelations there, but we'll deal with the 49. But we'll deal with the 49 in this and the 16. And this 16 has 66 letters in it that will point to something else as this goes on. But we must realize this. This points back to 4 to 6 messages I have already given about the 4, the 8, and the 16 and the 32. I've given many messages about that. Some of them they have took down, some of them still up. This points back to all these messages of last year in November the 6th, 2017 at 11 p.m. Watch whole video if you can. November the 5th, 2017 at 10:53 p.m. Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 1 to 5. This is another video where I spoke on the 4, the 8, the 16, the 32. There's another video on November the 30th, 2017. The children blood cries out, speak of this in a big way. If they don't take them down, the other videos that will show this, I can't find as of yet. Anyway, the 449 that came in Zechariah chapter 7, verse 1, that leads me to Genesis 18:24, because I was told to go to the green book, was just the beginning of this revelation that truly believe Father Abba was revealing to me. Now, I will read Genesis 18:24 again, just one more time, because I need to point something out. Peradventure, there be 50 righteous within the city, wilt thou also destroy and not spare the place for the 50 righteous that are therein. Now, Genesis 3:15, and I will put enmity between thy seed and her seed. He shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Now, what is he saying, and what do this have to do with Mount Zion 11, Mount Zion 21, that leads to Mount Moriah 32, or Abraham's daughter? Now reflect on Genesis 18:24 and Genesis 3:15 and what Mount Zion means, deliverance. Deliverance has 11 letters in it. Mount Zion has the number 11 in it too. Father Abba spoke to Eve in Genesis 3:15. Let her know her seed would bruise the devil's head. That seed came down through, now pay attention to it, that seed came down through 42 generations. And it had Rahab in it, Ruth in it, and Mary. All through the ones that I mentioned, okay? 42 generations, all right? Generations has 11 letters in it too. So we're right back to deliverance and the 42. He linked Ruth to this. He linked Rahab to this. He came through Mary. Okay, the three that I just mentioned. Please pay attention. We have Zechariah 7:1. First part of the verse has 12 words. 12 words, but watch this. First part of the verse has 12 words. That has 42 letters. So now here it is. Jesus come down through 42 generations. And the first part of this has 42 letters in it. Okay? In it. Now 42 generations has 11, as I said. Mount Zion has 11. Deliverance has 11. We have 33 here with the 42 too. Jesus, Matthew 1:17, okay? So all the generations from Abraham to David are 14 generations. And from David to the carrying away into Babylon are 14 generations. And from the carrying away into Babylon onto Christ are 14 generations. 42. They're going to 42 being shown. Verse 18. Now the birth of Jesus Christ was on this wise when as his mother Mary was espoused to Joseph. Before they came together, she was found with child of the Holy Ghost. Okay? This is the year 2018. This is being revealed to me in this year through Zechariah. Now I'm going to show y'all the 18 later on, but here it is. We got the 17th verse, which I'm going to get to that in a minute, how important that is. The 17th verse reveals the 42 generations. Okay, I'm going to get to that too. We still in the first verse of Zechariah. All this is in the first verse. Now, please pay attention. Matthew 1:17 speaks about the 42 generations. The second part of the first verse has in Zechariah 7:1 has 17 words. Got the 42, you got the 17 in there. It's all in there, man. And in these 17 words, you have the 4 and the 9. That points back to Ezekiel chapter 16 and 49, and you got the 16 in there. Okay? Which makes up the 49 that leads back to Genesis 2 and 18. Okay, Genesis 2 and 18 is the 49th verse. Now watch what the 49th verse says. Where Father Abba spoke about it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helpmate for him. Get the glory out of this, Father Abba. This is in the 49th verse where he's speaking about woman. This is the 49th verse in Genesis 2 and 18. Second part of Zechariah chapter 7 verse 1 reveals Genesis 2 and 18 of verse 18. First chapter of Matthew verse 18. Okay, Mary, Joseph's mother, get the glory out of this, Yahweh. There we go with the 18 again. In the 18th verse in Genesis chapter 2 verse 18, it's the 18th verse. God talk about the woman. In the 18th verse in Matthew chapter 1 and 18, he's talking about Mary, God, Jesus, God Jesus' mother, you know, in the 18th verse, but the verse before that is 17. Then you got the 17 words even before that. It's all in this one verse. And I ain't even finished with the verse yet. Okay? So much meat here, Father Abba. I know y'all guided, I know you guided them men to write this King James version of the Bible for a time like this, because I know that there was many other Bibles wrote before this one was published. So I'm not oblivious to it was other Bibles that was written, okay, before this. And that there was 2 other books in the Bible that was taken out. I'll get to that later on too. Thanks for revealing the month and date to me in this 18th year of President Trump's meeting that's supposed to happen in North Korea next month. For if I take the next step and go backwards, if I take the next step and go backwards in this, we're still in the first part of Zechariah, first verse, okay? All this is in there. And I break down the 42, because you got 42 letters in the first 12 words of the first part of the verse. You would get 4 plus 2 equals 6. The meeting that's supposed to go on with North Korea is in the 6th month. I get the 6th month. The 12 words is the 12 days. The meeting supposed to take place on June the 12th, 2018. We already talked about the 18th. I'm going to show you some more on that too. There go the date. Revealed to me in the 18th year, plus Mary, you know, in the 18th word from Matthew chapter 1 to 18, the woman revealed in Genesis chapter 2, verse 18. 49 reveals that's in the first verse. Okay. President Trump, 4-year term. He's in his first 4-year term. That's in the first part of that. He's the one that's taking it and doing this meeting next month, June the 12th. Okay. King Darius was in his 4th year when Father Abba spoke to Zechariah. Okay, I'm gonna bring all this home too. I'm in my 4th year of really trying to understand this about Genesis and the rest of the Bible. I've really been at it real hard. I've been studying before then, but the last 4 years since 2014, I've really been at it. Okay. And even though you have been speaking, to me about Chicago since 2012 and the church since 2011, I didn't come to realize its connection until 2014 and 2015. How do I reveal that Zechariah chapter 7 verse 1 through 7 reveals this in the church and Chicago and North Korea and the NFL as well as President Trump? So I'll be talking to God as I be writing, asking, how do I reveal this, Lord? How do I tell President Trump that the 449 points to him, to the 4 year to be guided by Father Abba if he listened, that his 4-year term points to another 4-year term if he's willing to listen, is what I'm trying to say. They can't point to 4 more years if he's listening to Father Abba's voice, because he is the 45th president, and 4 and 5 equals 9. You got the 4 years, you got the 4th day, and then you got the 9 on the end. What makes up 9? 4 and 5. That's the last number, and it's on the right. I get to that too. President Trump is the 45th president, which 4 and 5 is the number 9, makes up the number 9. You know they are calling you crazy by now, but I will push on, because the last part of the number in the first part of this verse points to Dr. Martin Luther King speech. I have a dream, for I have a dream, for you have 6 from the 24 letters. Okay, from the 42 letters, 4 plus 2 equals 6. Okay, you have 12 words. 1 plus 2 equals 3. Okay, this gives you 63. I was writing kind of. This gives you 63. He gave that speech in 1963. I have a dream. Okay, now you have the 6 in there, and you have the 3 right there in the first 12 words and the first 42 letters. You get the 6 and the 3 when you break it all the way down. Okay, that's in there too. The 50th year. Keep on thinking 50. 50 righteous. Dr. Martin Luther King, 50 years his assassination, 50th year his speech. I have a dream, and then I've been to the mountaintop. Then we speaking about the mountain too, but the 1963, I have a dream. The 63 shows up in this. When you break it all the way down to its lowest, you get the 63, and then if you go even farther, you get the 9. This started 63 is 9. This started with me in Chicago with the number 9, and the church, both of them. Okay. Also, this is the 50th year of his murder and the 70th year of Israel's return. 50 years means Jubilee as well as the 50 years of the speech. I've been to the mountaintop, as I was saying. They didn't hear me, Father Abba. I mentioned mountaintop. I spoke about Mount Zion 11, Mount Zion 21, that leads to Mount Moriah 32 in the beginning of this. Now, the 5th verse, Father Abba speaks to Zechariah, saying, speak unto all the people of the land, and to the priests, saying, when ye fast and mourn in the 5th and 7th month, even those 70 years did ye at all fast unto me, even to me. This is the 5th month, and the 70 years is being celebrated here too. It started on the 15th day. Martin Luther King was born January the 15th, 1929. 2 and 9 is 11. Anyway, okay, you keep on turning off my YouTube, forgive me. Because the word charlatan was bothering me. Also, the question that came to my mind was, could the cycle of 3 be playing out again? Is the question I asked myself. I then wrote just a feeling I have. Okay, that's what I wrote down. Just a feeling I have. As this happened, I was being directed to reflect on the church shooting that happened on June 17, 2015, as I said. And the church shooting that God had been warning me about since 2011, at least. Okay, and that's the one that happened in 2015. My mind took to the 2 dates. I got to thinking about the 2 dates and the middle number. So you have the first church shooting that Father Abba revealed to me on 6/17/2015. Remember, I had the vision of the number 17. And the vision of the number 17 on 5/14/2018. So this brings us to 6, 6, 17, 2015, and 5, 14, 2018. The first numbers in the middle is 1. Because you got the 5 and you got the 6, you got the 1 in between, okay? The second number in the middle is 3. In between the 17 and the 14 is the 3. Shabok Dianja, Ramdo Bakiadambo, Ramdo Shabakut, Shihitalabokut, blood of the Lamb. Is the 3. The third number is a 3, 2. Now we must go 1 plus 3 plus 3 equals 7. Zechariah chapter 7. Now we have the 7 from the whole. Now we have the 1 first verse. Okay, now we're going back to 11. We're starting all over. Got the 1. The first one show. First verse. Now we're working our way back. Now we have 1 and 3. Okay, which is 13. Okay. Now, that's the church shooting. I mean, the church bombing that happened on the 13th. I'm going to get to it. Okay? Or the 1 plus 3 equals 4. Okay? Slow up. King Darius, 4th year. So you get that with the first 2. Okay? You got the 1, first verse. Then you got King Darius. When you put the 1 and 3 together, that equals 4. And we're going to get to the 13 again because that's in the first verse too. I'm trying to go by a little bit. I come out really better at writing it, but every time I take and type something up to this like this, they take it down. So that's why I won't type. I would rather for y'all to read it and me to be able to do it so y'all can see. Okay? Okay. The 4th year, King Darius. But what about the 13? Now y'all asking about the 13. Okay, to keep on. Y'all asking about the 13. Y'all probably asking about the 13 by now. So we're gonna keep on with the process. We got the 4 from the 13. 1 plus 3 equals 4. 4 years of King Darius. Okay, but what about the 13? The warning to God's daughter, 4th day, 9th month. 4 plus 9 equals 13. It's right there in that second half. It's right there in it. Okay. So now you got the 13th, and on the 13th you had 3 bombs, with the 3 being in the middle and on the end on the right. Okay. Okay. So the warning. Okay. But Father Abba confirmed this again already in Zechariah chapter 7, verse 1. And like I said, it's so much more to that verse. Okay. You have 13 letters in that. Thus, the last 3 on the right hand side speaks that makes the 7. Okay. So you got 3, then you got 3, then you got 1. Going from the right, you got 3, 3, 1. That makes 7. Then when you're coming from the left, you got the 1 plus 3. You know what I mean? You get the 13. Then when you get the right, you get the 7. So either way it goes, you got to go middle, end, then work your way back. That's how the process is going. There's still other things that's not being done with that. Okay. But you have to begin with the middle numbers, and I still haven't added the other numbers. Anyway, we in chapter 7. You get 7 from out of that. 1, 3, 3. 1 plus 3 is 7. Okay. Then when you look at the first number, you see to the left and working what is a 1. That's the very first number that you see. We in chapter 7, verse 1. It's right there. Boy, I wish I could show them this. Okay. Right hand side speaks that makes the number 7. Now this number 3 is the middle number, which makes up all 5 parts of this. The 7, the 1, the 13, the 33, and the 3. So the question remains in my mind, could the cycle of 3 be run again? Okay. Because we get the number 33 twice again. Okay, it's just in a whole nother process that's coming up. And this makes a wedge and also reveals 333. The last time that the 3-3 showed up was in 2015. And right after that, look at all the stuff that happened. That in France, that in the Christmas church shooting in 2015, that in France, the killings in Florida, all the stuff that happened after 3-3 showed up, okay? And you got the 3-3 showing up in this, and it's making a wedge. The same way it did in Chicago. Okay. Which is 9, which leads you back to Chicago and the church. You also have the number 11 in on the left side, which is not good. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna stop right here at this page because I still got about 20 pages to go. Okay. Okay. It's on the left side. Okay. We have the wedge running with the 3 from the middle right side in first. The second one shows the 13 from the top to the bottom and from the left to the middle, which reflects the 2 numbers 13. So you got the 13 showing twice in here too. And I'm gonna show y'all that later too. I spoke about earlier that the verse had 4 and a 9 in it, which equals 13 too. So that's a reflection of Zechariah reflecting on what's going on in the church, the vision I had, and the other church shooting that happened in 2015. And the last 3 words have 13 letters in Zechariah chapter 7, verse 1. Remember, I was told to understand Zechariah chapter 7, verse 1 through 7. The third one reveals the 11. Okay. Okay, we're talking about the third chart that I have. You have the 11 in here. You have the 30. You have the 133. You have the 11. You have the 143, which the 143 makes 8. So you get the 8 on the bottom going towards the right. Okay. And 11. You have the numbers 33, 34, 43. Okay. Which brings me to this and the beginning of the vision on 5/14/2018 that led me to think, okay, about the church shooting that happened in 2015, June 17, which gives us the number 133 in the middle that breaks down to 1 plus 3 is 7 equals 7. Okay, I'm gonna stop here because, like I said, I still got about 20 pages to go. There's a whole lot more to go, and when I get through with taking and doing it, if you take your time and you listen to it, and you take and do the number, you'll understand what I'm saying. All this is still in the first verse of Zechariah. Check could have just stopped messing with the video, man.